Welcome back to another episode of Bass and Booners, everybody.
Deers and beers is why you're here.
So sit back, crack a cold one, and enjoy the show.
Well, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
It's been a very long time. Life kind of caught up to both of us. I had stuff that I had to do. Brady had stuff that he had to do. I wasn't home for a while. I'm back now. Should be back for a while. So we're gonna do everything that we can for now until the next storm that rolls through comes through, and I gotta leave again. But
Yeah, it's been what, deer season since we did a podcast, I think?
no, it wasn't even deer season.
It's
Before
archery
that,
season.
yeah, no, it wasn't even that. It was the last podcast episode is when we were setting everything up for archery season.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because we were still going through scout discussions about trail cam picks and everything else.
Which, hunting season was an absolute bust. I wasn't even here for it. I was here for like the first week and a half. Shit show.
The couple weeks that you were here, we saw deer.
Yeah, but we did not. Well, the last day I got to hunt, we had that one shooter come in, but he sat behind a tree the whole time.
You weren't there that day. I was by myself. What? Were you there?
It was my last day hunting. Remember? I was
yeah,
leaving the next day.
That one only had the big fork on his right side.
He came out from the left side, sat there behind a tree 20 yards from us, and stared at us. Like 5 minutes, and then he just left. Never saw him again.
Yeah, I don't think my hands quit shaking for 15 minutes after that.
Well, we didn't even think he was going to come out. We were just sitting there having like a bullshit blind conversation. And we were just sitting there, like literally 20 minutes after daybreak, and you hear a twig snap. Brady about had a stroke. We both looked left, and he's just standing there. I mean, when
all you could see from behind the bush is just horns sticking everywhere.
And then he walked out, went broadside behind a tree, but the only things you could see were his hind legs and his head.
Yeah, and with a bow, obviously, we're not taking that shot. If I had a rifle, I would consider a neck shot, but we're not taking that shot with a bow, because that's just how you wound deer and they get away, and that's just poor sportsmanship, poor ethics, if you ask me.
Yeah, but he left, sat there for like another 2 hours and called it, and I had to get ready to leave.
Yeah, the rest of the season sucked, to be downright. It just went downhill from that point for me, which obviously I was on my own the rest of the year.
Which is another reason that, I don't know if you guys ever tried to self-film your hunts, but it does not.
It's extremely hard, but...
It doesn't go to plan, never. You can plan for it for a week, and you'll get out there, and it never goes to plan.
Archery season, the rest of the archery season, I saw some smaller scrap bucks and some big does, but of course the big does never came in range, just the little ones, and I'm not shooting a little one, because I want to fill the freezer. And then rifle season, it was all right. I mean, I didn't shoot anything. I had one legal buck come in the entire season. That was it. And it was shortly after I got my pistol, my 44.
Oh, side note, I'm not trying to cut you off, but before I forget this. For like 2 days, Brady contemplated if he was going to buy a 44 to hunt with. Well, he did it. And then he goes out and he doesn't get anything with it.
Well, and to get to my point of what I was explaining with that, so this was like 3 days after I bought my 44. I got a Taurus tracker, and it was down to like the last half hour of daylight for that day, and there was a group of deer out in the cornfield below me, and I'm like, all right, I could see the legal buck. I'm like, if he comes within 40 yards, I might take him. Well, when he got closest, I ranged him. He was at 35. And then I threw my binoculars up on him to take a closer look to see what I was really looking at. And he just, I couldn't be satisfied with what it was. So I put my pistol back into my holster. Looking back on it after not getting anything, I wish I would have taken a shot at him it just would have been cool to get a pistol or a deer with my gun with that new revolver. Considering it's open sights and you got to shoot offhand and whatnot, it would have been a challenge, but...
Yeah, but you're a scaredy cat and did.
No, because you got to remember Brutus was running around out there, and that was like the third day of rifle season.
I really don't think he's there anymore.
I have a feeling he's one of the ones that got poached.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Apparently, so the story that I heard came from an Amish, so take it with what you will. But he was saying that, I don't know if you guys ever saw an Instagram post, and if you haven't, go look at them so you know what we're talking about. But we had this deer, didn't show up to what, like the week before archery started.
Yeah.
Like, never saw him, no signs, but thinking back, that scrape should have been
the season had already started. We were a week in.
Were we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time we checked trail cams after season started. And we had this absolute brute, hence he got his name Brutus.
I'm gonna say he was probably low 150s to high 150s, roughly.
I mean, G2s were at least 13 inches long.
Oh, they were huge.
And, well, the Amish guy was saying that there was 3 identical bucks running around. And from where his house was to where the field was, he swears up and down that he saw all 3 of them get shot from the side of the road.
Well, there was 3 deer that got poached out there, and he said they were giants. And like you said, it was less than a mile from where we were hunting at. So you figure when a rut starts, a mile is nothing for a deer to cover in say 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's like a stroll through the neighborhood for them.
Yeah, so I have a feeling he is one of the deer that got poached, as much as I hate to say it. And then I had a guy send me a picture of him when he was in velvet from I think July or August, and it did wonders for his size. He was huge. He easily would have cleared 150.
And it
easily.
What sucks most about him getting poached isn't that we're not going to have the opportunity to get him. It's that his gene pool
is now dead.
Unless he got lucky before he got poached, his gene pool's probably done.
Yeah, and the only downfall with whenever he was coming into the property, he would only come into that piece of woods we were in between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. So it was still pitch black at that point. And he would come in, and every time he was in there was a range of 15 minutes to a half hour, and then he was gone.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't see him again for 2 more days.
When I started thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that he was the one that was leaving all them giant scrapes. He'd come in, make them, and leave, or he'd come in and check them and leave. He was not. Yeah, he did not care to sit there for very long.
And in that tree that we found robbed right above where we had the blind at, there was gouge marks in it that were a 1/4 inch deep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what other buck in that woods would have been doing that.
Unless Forky.
It could have been, but you figure he was getting that tree, and then the trees around it were also getting rubbed from rubbing the main tree. There were 7 or 8 saplings that had slight rub marks on it, just from the main beam sliding up and down after he was rubbing the main tree.
And from when we first have him on camera after, he is the only buck that we regularly have on camera. It's like he came in and every other buck decided they did not want any part of that woods ever again.
Yeah, like it was to the point that I told Jake, I'm like, if one of these other illegal bucks come in here, have at it. I'm holding out. Which it obviously didn't pan out for either of us, because if the deer decided to screw us over again.
If he did get poached, that's sickening.
That's gonna suck. He was a world-class buck.
Well, it's not even that. Poaching is one of the most low-life things you can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm hoping that he's not, and that he just left the property for the winter, and that it was one of his breeding grounds, and that was the only reason that he was in there was to find does. But I
would have found him in there. There was a bunch.
Yeah, I have a feeling he is one of the ones that got poached, which sucks. And then I know he'll never be right again either. But that buck that we had in range in our tree season, the one that wouldn't come out from behind the bush, if his size would have matched, he would have been a mainframe stud 10-point. Because his left side was a perfect 5, and his right side had a big giant Y on it, and that was it.
And they were big.
He probably would have gone 130s, 140s.
Yeah, he was, and body-wise, he was big.
Yeah, we had several shooters on camera this year, but
it just never panned out to where they were there when we were there.
No, as soon as the rut started, they disappeared. And then, of course, the very last week of archery season, whenever it was raining and windy all week long, and you could not hunt with a bow if you wanted to, they were all in there in daylight. Every one of them.
Yeah. It's like rut started, they left, but the does stayed.
Yep. Well, does ain't gonna leave. But another thing I'm thinking about, though, too, is we had several bears over there this year, and I have a feeling the bear ran them out of there, because if there's a bunch of bear around, deer are not going to stay there.
Well, I was thinking that, we were both thinking that throughout the years, the bear just left, because we never saw signs of them, only have 4 pictures on 2 separate occasions of them. So we both just went under the assumption that they left. Well, I'm starting to think that that's why you found a carcass in the cornfield.
Well, I think so, too, because as of 3 weeks ago, they're still there. Because I found fresh bear tracks in that side woods in the mud. Like, they had to have only been a day old. They were not old at all.
If they don't leave, that's going to work out for us, because I'm getting my bear license.
Well, so am I, but come bear season, I'll be going up north again. The only downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hunting season was what it was. Late season, I went out a couple times in the late season just with a group of guys, just as a driver for Flintlock to walk around and bust the brush up. But That was about it. I've been out shed hunting a couple times. Found one little forkhorn, which we had him on video in a regular or in the archery season. Other than that, I mean it sucked.
Yeah, hunting season. I wasn't here for it, but from how Brady complained about it every single day, hunting season was how hunting season always goes for us, except the one fluke accident we had 2 years ago, and I shot Scrappy.
Yeah, yeah. This year was one of those seasons that it really tests you as a hunter whether you actually want to do that. Like there was several mornings in the blind when it was prime conditions for rut activity,
and there was nothing.
There was absolutely zero deer, and I'm just sitting there thinking, why in the hell are we out here?
We'd be sitting. We'd spend more time sitting there staring at leaves fall than we actually did anything else. And then like it got to the point that when you saw even the smallest doe possible, you got excited to see something.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though you knew you couldn't shoot it, you just got excited because you were actually seeing something like walk around.
Yeah.
And one of the other things, if you keep track of our Instagrams and Facebooks and stuff, is this year we had 2 pets in the woods with us at all times, apparently, because there was a black cat and
a yellow cat.
Yeah. Black cat and yellow cat. The black cat would like circle the top soybean field and come down and sit on this log and stare at us.
We actually started to look forward to when we see that cat, because 9 times out of 10 when that cat was strolling through, there was deer behind it for some reason. Every time that deer was around, that cat was around, there was deer with it.
Yeah. But he would sit on a log and just stare at us in the blind.
Yeah, it was the funniest. I kept waiting for him to come over and crawl in that blind with us. I mean, I would have let him. He could have sat there and chilled.
Speaking of stuff crawling in our blind, we were under the assumption for like a week or 2 that someone was using our blind.
Yeah, we never did figure out if somebody was.
No, but when you go in there and the door's left hanging wide open and the chairs are not where you left them.
Yeah, because every time we were done hunting for the evening, we would shut the windows and we would shut the doors up.
And we'd leave our chairs up. They would never move. Well, we'd move mine so we could get out, but we put it in the same spot every time. And then I went out there one day when Brady didn't want to go out, and both chairs were tucked in a corner and the door was hanging wide open.
Yeah, and from what you said, my bow holder was moved too. It wasn't where I had it at.
We never got evidence of anyone doing it, but...
No, we had 3 cameras all within a radius of 40 yards of that blind, and somehow whoever it was, if somebody was in there, they slipped every camera.
There was a blind spot if you went straight behind it.
Yes, that was the only spot until that happened. Then we made that not a blind spot anymore. We had pretty well all 4 sides covered after that happened to see if somebody came in, and nobody ever came back. Because we're still not sure if somebody actually was in there.
I'm fairly certain. What, the cat went in there and moved everything?
No, not. I'm with you. I think there was somebody in there. Yeah, I mean, I guess now, obviously we're gonna be doing some more shed hunting yet, but next thing on the agenda, next weekend's the opening weekend trout season here in the state.
And I'll be home for it, so expect videos, content.
Yeah, and then after trout season starts, we'll be doing some bass fishing, and then we'll be going into spring turkey.
We're about a week behind on content right now. We still have a bunch of videos and pictures from last week we got to upload, so those will be up throughout the night tonight with the podcast and YouTube if the YouTube ever decides to upload. But yeah, we're shifting our focus now from deer hunting to primarily fishing, because the last 2 years me and Brady have tanked fishing. We haven't done any of it. It used to be something we were really looking forward to every year, and then I don't know what happened.
We both started working longer hours in the summer, and by the time we'd get home in the evenings, we were just done for the day. We just didn't want to do anything.
But no, we're gonna get back into it this year. Probably gonna take a trip, probably to Dunham's, some store eventually. Get all new baits. Probably do a video, at least.
And this morning, I went out and bought a new 12 gauge this morning. The brand it's called is Retay, Retay. They're made in Turkey, and I think their headquarters are Maryland, something like that. But
yeah, it didn't call me though, so I didn't get one. Gotta go back.
I was hoping that they had the guy I got it off of. I was hoping he had the Mossy Oak Bottomland camo, but he just had a Realtree Wetland, which is what it is. I mean, camo is camo at this point whenever you're in the woods. Just something to break you up. It's not shiny, so that's a plus. But I haven't shot it yet. Actually, I haven't even took the tags off of it yet. I put it right in the safe as soon as I got home. So one of these days, we're gonna be shooting some skeet.
Oh yeah, we have a shooting competition planned. It's gonna be pistols, shotguns, rifles, and then I'm bringing my AR and stuff just to get rounds down with it. But No, the pistols are, what did we say, 15, 25, and 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Then skeet, whoever hits the most, obviously.
Yeah, and then we're doing what, 50?
No, the rifles.
100, 200, 300.
Yeah, and then whoever can hit 1,000 the most. But that's not for the competition.
Well,
that's just to see who can hit 1,000.
Neither you or I have a gun set up to do 1,000 yards. Rufus does.
We're just gonna use his.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna do some planking just to get a chance to get some rounds in. Mainly for these shotguns before turkey season comes, because you're buying a new one, aren't you?
Yeah. If you would have called me today, we both would have bought one. But somebody apparently doesn't know how to use a cell phone. After you told me last night he would call me in the morning.
Well, I kind of forgot. I didn't think you'd be awake at that point yet.
I was up bright and early, 6:30 a.m. No phone call.
Well, it just gives me another reason to go up there.
Yeah. Now we gotta go next weekend.
Yeah. So
at some point now, because we got fish. See, now you got us all behind again.
Oh well. But yeah, we're just gonna do some skeet shooting mainly with them shotguns, so we can get used to them before the spring turkey comes around. Then hopefully we can get us a big old thunder checking out in the woods.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff planned with very minimal time to do it. So we're really gonna have to kick it into high gear.
Yeah.
Not put it off. If any of you guys are wondering about the merch, we do have it. We're still doing like test phases with it. I know the ones that me and Brady have. I like it. It's comfortable, durable. The logo, I've washed that shirt probably 33 times, 34 times. It hasn't wrinkled, cracked. The logo's still there. I don't know what's been going on with Brady's, but the Shopify is probably not going to happen. I don't want to start with that. I just don't like Shopify.
They have too much of a fee to sell on there.
For us, at least, because we won't be selling enough to constitute all the stupid fees that they have. So it's probably, more than likely, if we can get it to work, going to be Etsy, which is easier for us because we don't have to keep an inventory. We can just do a made to order. Like, we'll have the inventory, obviously, but it'll be made to order, so we'll make it as it's ordered. We're not just making it to make it. But that's going to be coming at some point. And then the shooting competition video. What else?
Did you say fishing?
No, we got a lot of fishing stuff planned. A lot of different fishing trips.
We got to figure out where we're going for trout season because we need to try somewhere else. I think.
Yeah.
The place we've been going to is overrun with people.
It's not even that it's overrun. It's just I don't think that it is all it was cracked up to be the first year we went.
No, because people kept saying Cook Forest was a good place to go fish for trout.
It's not.
It is not.
So we're gonna have to do some research. Probably somewhere in PA. Obviously somewhere in PA. I don't want to drive a stupendous amount or a stupendous distance just to get a trout caught, though. So.
No, I think we go up around my camp somewhere.
That's what I was gonna
there's
say.
stock streams up there.
Benezek, Kettle Creek.
Yeah.
But we're probably say it every single podcast that we're gonna get back on a consistent uploading schedule.
And we never do.
We're working on it. I mean, we're definitely doing a lot better than we were. We at least have we at least have a good amount of stuff posted every week.
Yeah.
It's just
we're getting there. We're working at it.
We made an oopsie a couple years ago and overworked ourselves and lost the love of a lot of things. Didn't really have the what's the word I'm looking for?
The gumption to do anything.
No.
The ambition.
Yeah, we didn't have the ambition to go out there and start filming stuff, and we just wanted to get back to having fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying, like, mentally, whenever we're doing stuff, we're trying to forget about the business side of it, and we're just trying to think of the fun times and just do that, and it seems to be working for us so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's working a lot better. I mean, when we go out there, we're just doing it, and if we happen to pull the camera out, we pull the camera out and record. But, I mean, we don't go out there filming 24/7 because then it's not like an in-the-moment thing. It's, oh, we're recording, let's go do something. We're doing it because we want to have fun with it, and we are having fun with it, and then we record it. Like, we're trying to find the balance.
Yeah, we'll be putting more content out this year than ever, so just bear with us, stay tuned.
And merch.
Show it.
Hats. We just got a hat press. And everything is made in-house by us. So when it gets made, we inspect it, make sure everything's like centered, and it has to pass our test before we ship it out.
Yeah, and we're pretty picky about that stuff. Like if it doesn't look like we'd wear it, and then we're not selling it.
But yeah, we got shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers. This is something we talked about the other day with the when we reopen it and start selling merch again, for probably like the first 2 months, first 3 months, every order for every $5 spent will be either one. It'll probably be every $5 will probably be 3 raffle tickets into a drawing, and then at that 3 months, we'll pull the raffle ticket, and the winner will get whatever we decide to give away. I haven't decided that yet, but with the raffle tickets, we'll in your order include the physical copy of it, but also like somehow get it to where you have it technologically too. That way, if you lose the tickets or whatever, and don't panic that you don't know if you're gonna win or not, because we'll make sure that you know your ticket numbers. But so PA Spring Turkey starts in
a little bit more than a month.
A
little bit more than a month.
Yeah.
So what day is it? May 3rd to May 17th is a half hour before daylight to noon is all the more you can hunt.
So don't expect a lot of content between that because we work.
Yeah, and then the 19th to the 31st you can hunt all day long, which is when we'll probably be hunting it, other than weekends obviously if neither of us are working. I think we're going to try some new areas this year. We ran into some turkeys last weekend up at my camp driving around.
Yeah, it's from now until really spring turkey. A lot of our content is going to be me and Brady driving around, scouting different areas, trying to pick where we want to go this year, because the areas we've been going to are beat. It's a waste of our time. We don't get content for you guys.
Yeah, so I think I think everything this year, what we're going to do is switch over to public ground, but we're going to be going deep. Like some of the areas we've been looking at, it's 1.5 miles, 2 miles back in to even get to it on foot, which obviously, turkey-wise, we'll have to be going in the woods at least an hour before daylight to even get back in there by the time they fly out of the roost.
Especially where we want to go. With that terrain, we're going to have to get out there earlier.
Yeah, so it's gonna be some work this year. We're going to be putting in the work in all the hunting seasons, but yeah, I think that's the plan for spring turkey, is to really cover the ground, use it as an opportunity to scout for deer season too, and just get out there in the woods and just do our thing mainly.
I do know this year's the first year that we want to take an out-of-state hunting trip.
Next year.
2026. Next year we want to take it, but we're torn. We don't know what state we want to go to, because we want to do a hog hunt in Texas.
But at the same time, we're also looking at pronghorn in Wyoming.
But if we go to Texas, we can go. There's a lot of other things other than hunting specifically to do.
Yeah, because we want to go check out the stockyards.
If we go to Wyoming, I mean, granted they have damn near, they're close to every national park up there, but
yeah,
I feel like hog hunting in Texas would be a little bit more speed.
Yeah, so, I mean, let us know what you think, which one we should choose, whether to go to Wyoming for pronghorn or go to Texas for hogs.
Or if you have another state that you've personally hunted in and you know that it's worth it.
And we're looking for a state, too, where you can buy tags over the counter and you don't have to put in a lottery to get drawn for a tag, because obviously that's slim pickings and a rare chance.
And yeah, but yeah, the only two that we had a list of like 7, but the only 2 that we're finalized it with is hog hunting in Texas or pronghorn in Wyoming.
Yeah, so let us know what you think. And I think we've covered everything on this video.
Yeah.
Or not video, podcast.
Yeah, till the next one. Either it won't be next week. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2-ish weeks. But thanks for listening.
We'll catch you at the next one.